Hi everyone, today's coronavirus news spotlight is on President Trump's recent diagnosis. Is he in critical condition? Did he lie about his COVID-19 diagnosis? And what happens if he becomes too ill to function? My name is Angeline, and this is The Daily Watch. Over the latter part of last week, President Trump and First Lady Melania tested positive for coronavirus. The initial reaction from a lot of people is skepticism. A lot have voiced their speculations that he might be faking it to dodge the last two presidential debates. Some say that this is a ploy to delay the elections. If anything, this is a testament to how much his administration has lost credibility. He and his allies have an extensive history of putting out false or misleading information about a variety of topics over the past 4 years, including the severity of the pandemic and its risk to public health, that people seem more inclined to question the veracity of his statements, especially pertaining to a virus he's deemed to be a Democrat's hoax. Furthermore, he's downplayed the virus from the start, has openly chosen to not wear masks, and generally just handled the COVID-19 crisis in the US quite badly, evidenced by the 209,000 death toll in the country. Nevertheless, stock markets fall following his Twitter announcement. On Friday, he was airlifted to Walter Reed National Military Medical Center, where he received a promising experimental drug treatment for the virus developed by Regeneron, and where he will stay for a few days. At 74, Trump is the oldest first-term president in U.S. history and falls into an age bracket which has seen 21% of all U.S. deaths. More than his age, he's also considered obese, making him at greater risk for suffering coronavirus complications. Since the Twitter announcement, White House has released conflicting and contradictory updates about the president's condition. The White House Chief of Staff Mark Meadows said, "The president's vitals over the last 24 hours were very concerning, and the next 48 hours will be critical in terms of his care." He further said that Trump is not yet on a clear path to full recovery. This is after the president's physician, Sean Conley, offered a positive assessment, saying that his symptoms are resolving and improving. It was also said that the president is not on oxygen, while a source close to the White House confirmed that he definitely received supplemental oxygen. Trump then released a video telling his supporters he feels much better now and looks forward to finishing up the campaign. In an updated statement provided by Conley on Sunday, however, he mentioned that the president had been given the steroid dexamethasone the day before, which could confirm that Trump's condition is worse than what his medical team has previously communicated, since this is normally used for patients who are severely ill with COVID-19. Doubts have also been cast on when exactly Trump knew he was positive for coronavirus. Conley said on Saturday that the president was diagnosed 72 hours earlier, meaning he was confirmed infected as early as Wednesday. The Twitter announcement only came at 1 a.m. Eastern Time on Friday. Conley later issued a memo saying he misspoke. What happens if Trump gets too sick to govern? The presidential line of succession falls under the vice president, in this case Mike Pence, should the president become too ill to do the job. And if the vice president is too ill, next will be the House Speaker, in this case Nancy Pelosi. Both have been recently tested for coronavirus and came out negative. However, White House spokesman states that Trump has not transferred power and is still in charge. What happens if the president becomes fully incapacitated? His vice president and cabinet can vote to temporarily take power. The closest we've ever come to this is that George H.W. Bush and the Reagan cabinet were ready to transfer authority after Reagan was shot in 1981. Trump is not the first world leader to have contracted the coronavirus. UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson tested positive in March. Russia Prime Minister Mikhail Mishustin contracted the virus in April. Jair Bolsonaro, President of Brazil, contracted the virus in July. French Finance Minister Bruno Le Maire fell sick with COVID-19 in September. And that's the latest on Trump's coronavirus diagnosis. If you liked today's video or learned anything new, press the like button. Subscribe and get the latest news from the Daily Watch. See you next time!